Welcome back to The Explainer. Look, if you're looking to go gem hunting in the vast Ethereum universe right now, there is really one destination that stands out above the rest. Consider this your ultimate survival and opportunity guide to navigating Base. Built by the crypto exchange giant Coinbase, Base is currently Ethereum's most active Layer 2 network. It is absolutely packed with developers, funding, and fresh projects, which means opportunity is literally everywhere. That is, if you know where to look and how to navigate it all safely. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with why Base is dominating the Layer 2 space. Then we'll walk through getting your wallet set up and funded. After that, we'll dive into finding those on-chain opportunities. And finally, how to stay safe and manage your risk out there. All right, let's jump right into section 1. Why exactly is Base dominating the Layer 2 scene? Since it launched back in 2023, Base's growth has been just relentless. Let's look at total value locked, or TVL. That's basically the ultimate scoreboard for where the money is sitting in crypto. When Base first launched, it was 10 times smaller than Optimism, which is kind of ironic, right? Because Base is actually built on Optimism's technology. But today, the tables have completely turned. Base's TVL tripled in 2024 and is now 5 times greater than Optimism, firmly securing that top spot. But hey, TVL only tells us where the whales park their capital. What about the everyday users? Well, Base currently boasts over 1.5 million monthly active addresses. To put that into perspective, that is almost 6 times as many as its nearest competitor, Arbitrum. This is a massive indicator that Base is where the real community party is happening right now. And when it comes to sheer scale, the 24-hour decentralized exchange trading volume pretty much tells the whole story. Base sits at a staggering $2 billion. Compare that to Arbitrum at $877 million and Optimism way down at $130 million. Base is handling more than double the liquidity and on-chain activity of its 2 biggest rivals combined. It's basically formed this critical mass of liquidity and users that's just becoming totally self-perpetuating. So the absolutely crucial point here is this. Money and users are great, but developers actually build the future. Right now in North America, Base has more active developers than any other blockchain apart from the Ethereum mainnet and Solana. Think about that. It hasn't just beaten the other Layer 2s. It's leapfrogged almost all the Layer 1s as well. This massive influx of brainpower is a huge signal for future innovation, and it's exactly why understanding Base right now is so essential. Okay, moving on to section 2. Let's get your wallet set up. This is your digital backpack for the ecosystem. To actually access this ecosystem, you basically have 2 classic options. On one hand, you've got MetaMask. This is the traditional go-to for the Ethereum world. It's incredibly widely supported across almost every application via Wallet Connect. But on the other hand, we have the Coinbase Smart Wallet. Because Base is built by Coinbase, this wallet has built-in Base support right out of the box, making it a highly streamlined and just incredibly beginner-friendly experience. Setting up a Coinbase Smart Wallet is honestly a completely frictionless experience. You simply go to the web app, hit Create a Wallet, and scan a QR code with your phone. Then you just save a passkey using your phone's Face ID or biometrics. Boom, you are set up on the Base network. And if you're wondering where that terrifying private seed phrase went, it's gone. This uses something called account abstraction, which allows you to recover your wallet via a passkey and just skip that vulnerable private seed phrase entirely. It's a real game changer. Section 3, funding your wallet. Let's talk about how to actually get some ETH onto Base. You're going to need Ethereum in your wallet to pay for gas fees anytime you make a transaction on the Base network. There are 2 main ways to do this. You can bridge your Ethereum from another network, or you can use a centralized exchange. Now, Base actually shut down its official bridge in the name of decentralization. So if you want to bridge, you have to use third-party dApps like Superbridge. The problem? Well, bridges are notoriously vulnerable to hacker exploits. Actually, scratch that. They are like giant targets for exploits. Plus, you're going to pay higher gas fees. The alternative is using a centralized exchange, like Bybit, where you simply withdraw your Ethereum directly to the Base network. This method is considerably cheaper, way faster, and it completely removes the risk of a bridge exploit. But look, if you do decide to use a bridge, or even when you're transferring from an exchange, you need to read this quote very, very carefully. Once a bridge transaction has been initiated, it cannot be sped up or canceled. If you bridge assets to a wallet that doesn't support Base, they will be lost forever. Guys, blockchain transactions are permanent. There is no customer service desk to call to reverse a mistake. You literally must triple-check your network selection, your asset selection, and your address. One typo and your assets just disappear into a black hole. All right, on to section 4, finding those on-chain opportunities. Time for the prospecting phase. Now that you're set up and funded, let's get to the fun part. To stay ahead of the curve, you're going to need a few indispensable tools. Use CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap to track volume and spot narrative rotations. For example, right now Base is home to some key cryptos in the exploding AI agent narrative. But if you really want to dig deep, you've got to use DeFi Llama. It tracks over 425 different Base protocols. You can use it to uncover hidden gems just by sorting the data. For example, you might see a protocol called Virtuals sitting at the bottom of the list by default. But if you sort by the fees they generate, it suddenly jumps right into the top 10. That's how you reveal highly active protocols you probably would have missed otherwise. Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, staying safe and managing your risks. The digital frontier is full of opportunities, sure, but connecting your main wallet to untested protocols, that's incredibly dangerous. Malicious code can quickly drain your unsuspecting wallet. This is why you absolutely must understand this concept, the burner wallet. A burner wallet is simply a separate, secondary crypto wallet that holds only a tiny amount of funds, just enough for gas fees. You use it specifically to interact with new, untested, or obscure protocols. If that protocol turns out to be malicious, the absolute worst-case scenario is that you lose a few dollars in gas fees, while your main primary assets remain completely untouched and totally safe in your primary wallet. It's a lifesaver. Finally, we have to talk about the overarching network-level risk of Base itself. Because Base was built by Coinbase, it currently relies on a single sequencer node operated by them. This represents a centralization risk. It's a single point of failure and censorship. However, they are taking active steps toward decentralization. Like we mentioned earlier, they mothballed the official bridge, and they have implemented fault proofs, which actually allow anyone to monitor and challenge invalid withdrawals without needing a trusted third party. It's definitely a balance of risks that you just need to be aware of. And that brings us to the end of our journey. We've seen the metrics that prove Base's dominance. You've got the step-by-step tools to get your wallet set up and funded safely. You know exactly how to hunt for those on-chain opportunities, and most importantly, you know how to protect yourself using a burner wallet. So armed with this complete toolkit, the only question left is, what is your very first move going to be on the Base frontier? Get out there, explore safely, and we'll see you in the next explainer.